Mm. Bula binaka, talofalava, everybody. Those of you who are joining us online, greeting you, uh, all of you, with great happiness and gratefulness from the beautiful city of Los Angeles here in California. Wherever you are logging in from, um, if you log in online, let us know the town or the country where you are listening in from. That'll be really nice because right now we are uh, doing the live from Los Angeles, but joining across to the beautiful island of Oahu in Hawaii. And we have our guest who is from the beautiful islands of America Samoa, the beautiful island of TUITUILA. And we are in for a treat where we may have an additional voice that will be joining in as well in this Talanoa session. And I have to say, for those of you who've been joining me on my weekly webinars, this is the 10th webinar. I've just been so moved and so encouraged that, week in, week out for the last 10 weeks, we have been, so enriched with the number of guests that we've been hosting on my program. So those of you who are from the northern part of Oceania, from everybody in the Moana Nui Akiwa, Bulavinaka and warm Pacific greetings. Malolile, Bulavinaka, half a day, Talofa Lava, Yorana, Halo Alkata, and all the greetings that we can remember to share with you all. So for those of you who may have just joined us for the very first time, this is a special webinar that I've organized for this semester here at California State University in Los Angeles to invite our guests from different parts of the Pacific to come in and share the story. Yeah. I'm using the word Talanoa. Talanoa is a Polynesian word that we use for talk story or sharing. And this storytelling is basically to empower, empower other people who are listening, who may be looking for some words of inspiration. And number two, the motive of this program is to also allow my students here in Los Angeles at the California State University for them to not only hear about these island nations, but for them to see someone from that island, but more so to hear their voice. Yeah, to hear their voice. So that is why I've been organizing these weekly webinars. This will be the last one for this semester, and I'm feeling sad already because my Wednesday afternoons, it's Wednesday here in the US, it's always surrounded by my 5 o'clock webinar. Every time somebody invites me for something on Wednesday, I'm always saying, oh, I have a webinar at 5 o'clock. So we either meet before 5 or we meet after 6. Yeah. So that is something I've been organizing, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful 10 weeks of learning. And so I invite you, come along, move closer to your phone, move closer to your laptop, and we have one of our guests who is known to be a Tufunga Tatatau from Samoa, and he will be sharing with us the work that he has been doing, empowering our people, especially our young people. And so to kickstart our Talanoa today, for those of you who know my program, I always have a song that I play to start our session and to also wait for those who are just joining in. So I found a song from Samoa, and this is a song called Na Tofia Ele Atua Samoa. So I'm sure we will enjoy this because I was listening to it too, and it was beautiful. Talofalava, everyone.
Hello.
Le puletini ua salalau I le vasaloloa. Wailoa ai le lalolangi ua fesuisuia I Samoa. Taluai o le fia poto ma le fia iloa. Samoa lo tafa avaelena leo le tino a ole anganga a fayetu mam ole tanga vailena ole atu maule manuia mo Samoa. Natofia ele atua Samoa ina ia pulea e matai. Aua olo na sua faua vaelua iai. Tauna na fua le tetea ae mani no lava ole mata ole vai. Ole a ano moni ua le toi ai ni matai. Samoa lo tafa avaelena leo le tino a ole anganga a fayetu mam ole tanga vailena ole atu maule manuia mo Samoa. Vai se ona fili sui o le fono sili. Ina ua malo le leilo ai ngilisi. O isi fo iwa popoto I le ngilisi. Ai le ai o se fa'auta uta. Ele o tafa ingata e alona I una. Samoa lo tafa avaelena leo le tino a ole angana a fayetu matuma ole tanga vailena ole atu maule manuia mo Samoa. Lo tafa avaelena leo le tino a ole anganga a fayetu matuma ole tanga vailena ole atu maule manuia mo Samoa. Iole atu maule manuia mo Samoa.
Wow, that is a beautiful, beautiful song. Now I'm very, very homesick of the beautiful islands of Samoa, and not only we're going to be homesick of it. Now, someone will be telling us about his beautiful island nation of America Samoa, and he's right here with us today. Bulavinaka Sua Uilisone Fitiao.
Whawhitai lava. Ia, e
Bulavinaka.
mua o na whamoli le whawhitai ma le whamaloe le tatou tapaau I le langi. Pe ana le aila na whaatasi mai ma lona alofa mai fo'i ai tatou e le mawhain kako whakasi le ngei kula māngaia po le ngei aso. Wa whakulanga inga mo le ngei kalangoanga. Ia e whamoe o la ia whakasi mai kai mi umalawa mo I kako. Yeah, and first I would like to give thanks to everybody that are here today, that are listening, and they're being with us. So we could all share and learn something about what am I going to talk about. And, we're all going to share. And anyways, I wanted to thank Dr. Kalisi for giving this great opportunity for me to share something and a little bit of knowledge for all of us today. So, anyways, just want to say my name is Sua Uilisone Fitiao. Uilisone in English is Wilson, but in Samoan is Uilisone. So I'm Uilisone Fitiao. Anyways, I'm a tattooist. First, I wasn't a tattooist in the beginning when I was young. I started out as a real regular young man growing up, and I love to draw, drawing cartoonies, fancy cars, all those muscle cars back then when I was young. And I was a junior in high school, and then there was an old lady that come and in my art period all the time, and she was teaching us siapo, tapa siapo in a class. It was my seventh period, I remember. And then I look at this old lady and see the material she was using. And then I'm like, well, why not? I'm gonna go and over there and join and listen and join. Next thing you know, I got hooked. I end up becoming a tapa drawer and then when it comes to our final, God, I got an A. I'm like, oh my God, I got an A. Wow. It got me hooked, into the traditional, artwork. But going back to this kind of artwork that I was, learning from this old lady, it's all about the pattern of siapo. And siapo is one of it plays the biggest part in our culturally life. And siapo is something that the all island in the South Pacific share. It was something that we use for our lava lava or our crown to wear. So when it comes to us Samoan, I guess it's the same thing. We use it for ia lava lava, for curtains, for presents, for birthday party, for weddings, for funeral. Anyways, um, at the time when I was becoming a siapo drawer, it was slowly moving out of our traditional culture using the material itself. At the time, we were using the Westerners' material, and slowly this very important part of our culture is starting to faint out. So, but then it comes to drawing it. There are so much stuff in it that I learned from it, so much meaning. Because what I mean, so much meaning is the pattern, the mamanu, the motif that we draw on this yapo. Wow, it's got name, it's got meaning, and it tells a story about where it come from. In our daily life, like we'll draw a fatu moa, and fatu moa is a banana pop, and then it talks about all the bananas. It's not only one kind of banana, but it talks about how important it is. This one product, or produce that we eat, for a daily our daily lives, and I'm like, wow, I thought that, and then every even worms, even a little dot, it means something, and it talks about all of us. It talks about our surrounding. But it's funny too that I want to mention something. It's an art form that mostly girls do it in our daily lives. It's like back then, because we didn't. If you think back, let's go way back when we were alone by ourselves. There's no such thing as education or wake up in the morning. There was education. Not sorry, bring that back. There was education, heavy duty education in our village. But anyways, We didn't have to wake up and take the bus and go to school or go wait for the school. There was no such thing as like that. We'll wake up in the morning. They say that in the morning, men will go to men's house. The young boys will go to the young boys' house. Young girls will go to the young girls' house. The women will go to the women's house. But this is what they do. The women will learn how to weave mats. They will learn how to grow that same material that they weave mats out of. And then they they were taught how to prepare them. And then another thing, they will learn how to draw this pattern and name this pattern. And why is it written exactly that way? Because and then there the name is so, and then I'm like, wow, that is so amazing. That's how we learn. So when it comes to us men, men will go learn how to carve canoes. There's a carving house. They will learn how to carve canoes, carve this, carve, build houses. There were men sent to plantation, and so everything was already set up. So that's what I mean. So going back to Siapo, to me as a high school kid, drawing this, I'm like, wow, I'm so lucky to have this chance to learn this art form. Even though I'm not a girl, but I fell in love with it. So I was the only guy in my Siapo class that loves the Siapo. Ever since graduating from high school, I never did stop. I end up meeting this one guy that he's like me. His name is uh, King. Nick King. And I'm like, wow, you do Siapo? Said, yeah. So I'm like, oh, me too. So we're the only ones that do Siapo until nowadays, believe it or not. I'm the only one, and Nick King still making Siapo. So when we come to different gathering of the South Pacific, it's just us men and then Reg and his girls, you know. So I don't mind. I'm like, oh, nice. But from there, after making Siapo, I graduate now. And then I said to my dad one day, Dad, I'm tired of, like I'm tired of drawing Siapo. I wonder if there's another traditional art form, that I can go and he said, so what do you think? I said, well, I'm thinking of this guy Siven, and there was a guy named Siven. He's a best cover on our island at the time when I was growing up. He'll be carving at the museum, and I will pass by and go watch him carve. And I'm like, wow, fascinated with this guy's carving. So, and then I said to my dad, and tattooing too. I would love to learn how to tattoo. So yeah, that goes on. And then I went to the college. So I was at the college, but one day I come home and my dad said, hey, I remember what you told me about learning how to tattoo? And I said, yeah, why? I ran into a Petelo Suluapi. I said, who's that? Oh, I know him. We're related to him because his mom and Fikiao Levi's mom are sisters. And he's a Tufunga over in Samoa. And because I'm in American Samoa, at the time, I'm from American Samoa. And then he goes, and I said, oh, why? He said, well, Wilson, you know what Sulu Ape said, if you want to learn, you should come to him. That he'll take you under his arm and teach you how. You know what? I dropped the college. After that, my dad said that. I said to him, are you serious? He said, oh, yes. So I went to the college the next day, and tell my friends, well, sorry, guys, I'm leaving. I got to go. I got a place to go. I found what I want. So then on, I didn't graduate from the college. I just packed my backpack and I tell my dad, well, Dad, I'm going to see Petelo now. I got to go see this guy, in Samoa. So my dad said, well, let's go. Let's go. I'll take you to him. So we flew from American Samoa on the plane straight to Upolu, where Suluape Petelo is at, And then we got over there. We went to his house. This was Monday. We went to his house Monday morning at Faleasiu, where Suluape Petelo lives. We got over there with my dad and his other cousin. And we got over there, and we went to his house, and there's Asia Singa. Yeah, now I remember the woman's name. Asia Singa is Sulu Apepetelo's wife. She goes,
Oh.
"Oh, guess what? My God, you guys are late. Petelo just left last Friday. He's heading to LA to do the documentary of tattooing up in LA." And I'm like, "Oh my God." And my dad was saying, "Oh, what? God." So now I'm a little bit late. So and the cousin of my dad, what that was three of us in the car. My dad's cousin, he's the one that his mom is the sister of Sulu Ape's mom. And he said, "Oh, there's Petilo's other brother, young brother named Rafaele. He's still tattooing that guy too. He's tattooing that guy." And then my dad said, "Oh yeah, I know Rafaele. Okay, where Rafaele live? Okay, let's go see him." So Asia Singa is the name of Petelo's wife. Petelo Sulapi said, "Yeah, that's right. Go ask Rafaele. Go visit Rafaele and see, if he's there tattooing or what." So Rafaele married. There's two islands between Upolu and Savai. It's called Manono and Apolima. Two little islands. One of those islands, named Apolima, Rafaele is married to a woman from Apolima. So if we come over there, we'll have to take a little small aliyah, those Indian fishing aliyah boat to go to that island. So, anyways, we did went that same day. So we got over there. I'm like, God, I hope that there's gonna be, a chance for me here. So my dad wait on the wharf, and he sent me and this guy Valwanga, to the island, to the little island. So we went to the island. We got Rafaele's house, home, and Rafaele's wife was there. She goes, "Oh," so we tell him what we came for, and then she goes, "Well, you guys are in luck, but Rafaele is not here too. But he's tattooing. Rafaele is tattooing in Sako Lepai. There's a village in Savai he's tattooing in, Sako Lepai.
So that's
But
the
he's
next island.
Yeah, it's another island. Now he's in Savai, the big island of Samoa.
Yeah.
The big island of Savai is called Savai." And he goes, "Well, yeah, he's tattooing in Savai, but he's gonna come home Saturday because in a traditional culture, the Tufunga will call a bond to come and tattoo. So that's why we don't have tattoo shops on in a Samoan culture. The chiefs of that village will gather a meeting, and that they're gonna do tattooing in their village, and they will send for a messenger. They will pick who they want to come to tattoo the village, and they will send a messenger to the village. I mean, where the Tufunga lives, the tattooist live, with a letter and a basket of fish, a basket of taro to bring to him and bring that letter. And then the master Tufunga will say, "Okay, tell the high chiefs that I'll be coming Monday." And then when we come tattoo at that village, they will have a special place for us to live. It's a place called Apisa. It's a sacred place. It's a nice big valley. No one allowed to go to this valley. It's called Apisa. But when the first day that we arrive and we meet them, they will do a thing called Ava. Ava Olefeilio Inga. Ava of saying hello, to each other, gathering, like saying hello. You're here, oh hello, let's make a Ava to show our respect and appreciation that you're here. So from there, we'll know the numbers. We'll know the numbers of the people that we're gonna tattoo from the high chiefs of the village. But now you're looking at 20 something high chiefs sitting over there, inside this big guest house, and the Aumanga, the strength of the village, making the kava, and always there for the tour, always the women. The men is the girls are there, the women are there waiting. So from then on, and then that first day was like, having a little happy hour drinking, even though it's morning after the Ava ceremony, 11 or 12, we have happy hour already. They're happy. And then the tattooing will start the next day because that's how they do it. They'll say, "Okay, we're going to start working tomorrow." Anyways, back to my story. So then I was so happy when the woman said, well, come back on Saturday. Rafael is going to come back Saturday from Savai'i where he's tattooing at. So we hop on the boat and we came back to the big island of Upolu. So we told the story to my dad, and my dad said, well, we better wake up early and come back over here then. Now that I said, yes, yes, yes. So we went. And then come Saturday, here comes Saturday, came back like around 11, hop on another boat and went back to Manono. And when we got there, Rafael is not there. He's still in Savai'i. Mm. He's gonna be on the 12 o'clock boat coming from Savai'i to over here to Upolu, and then Upolu to Manono. So we have to wait at Manono the whole day until 4 something. We saw this guy walking, and at the time I got my big hair, Rasta hair, long, long, and looking at him, yeah, and then he come, he's drinking, he's probably working on who knows. And then he looked at me and he looked at his cousin that I came with, and he hugged his cousin. They talk and say, oh, so what brings you, and then it comes to that point, like, what brings you two over here? And then Vailuanga tell him, well, you see this guy over here, this boy over here sitting, this guy over here, he wants to learn how to tattoo. He is so and so's. His dad is so and so, and mom, and he's the oldest of the family. And Rafael says to me, because I used to have my Samoan name. Rafael says, "Are you Fuava?" I said, "Yes," because my name is Uilisone, middle name Fuava Fitiao. So he said, "Are you Fuava?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, I used to wash your palm back then when you were young as a baby crawling around. I'm like, oh my God. He knows me, this master. He knows me. He said, your dad was sent to our house to take care of us when we were young, while their dad was tattooing our family, over and because the mom of this guy and the mom of their sisters. So whoever people that want to tattoo in my clan, this is our tattooist. It's their dad. So I guess when they come to our family sent my dad and my mom to take care of the house over here because they're over there. And that's when he used to wash me, he said. I'm like, oh my God. Well, there. Then I
Small
got,
world, eh? Small world.
yeah, yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. This is a true story, true story. And
Wow.
then he said to me, he looked at me and he said, you see that hair of yours? I said, yes. That hair is not allowed in the house in the tattoo fale. It's not. You should cut your hair really good. And I'm like, what? He said, yes. If you want to be a tattooist, cut that hair of yours. Make it look like a real. He said, make it handsome because my long hair is not handsome to him. They look at him like, wow, this is amazing. So I said, okay. And then, mind you, this is Saturday. And he said, I'll see you Monday morning. Monday morning, you come and we go. So that happens. I went, we went back to the big island. Then I went and tell my dad that Rafael said to cut my hair. So I make a big pony and then I cut my hair like this. And believe it or not, right now, I still cut that pony at home to remind me of what I have to sacrifice for becoming a tattoo master. I still cut that pony thick like this and still hang. Every time I look at it, I'm like, I remember when I cut my hair. I remember, yeah.
Wow. That is
So yeah,
beautiful.
still got it nowadays. Anyways, Monday morning, I'm like, wow. And he said, bring your lava lava. So we come Monday morning, we hop on this boat. He says good morning, and he looked at me after he said good morning. He said, "Oh, you look handsome," you know. because I cut my hair. I'm like, yeah, right. Anyways, we continue on. We went to the wharf. We hop on this other boat, and then we went to Savai. From Upolu to Savai, we cross. We cross the bay, come to Savai. There's two trucks waiting for us to take us to where we're tattooing. A village called Satu Olepai. I don't know if you guys remember the story of the lava, the volcanic that kills, in Savai. But a little, yeah, we're going to that area over there, where the volcanic, close to the volcanic. Yeah. Anyways, we got over there. Mind you, it's my first time. I saw a big guest house over there, and there's like two rows of men sleeping inside this guest house. And Rafael said to me, "Those are our peas," and it's like 23 of them peas laying down, men, young men and men, head to head, laying over there waiting for the tattoo master to come because they're gonna get tattoo again. And I'm shocked. I'm like, wow, what? So comes the next morning, we start. So my first job in tattooing, when he was sitting down, two pullers sit right next to, and he was telling me, listen, your job is to sit right there. Your eyes is to look at these two men, two boys. They're pullers. They pull the skin. Four hands will be pulling the skin to hard, to make sure it's hard body, and then he'll tattoo because the boar tusk will stuck in the body if it's not hard enough. It needs to be hard because once it's not hard, he can tell it's not hard when he tattoo when he hit, and then the, the tusk, he cannot pull the tusk out. The skin will just grab it, so it's hard for you to pull the tusk out. So he said, your eyes, see what these boys are doing? Keep your eyes on them. That's your first job. So he dipped his tusk and he's about to tattoo, and then he stopped and turned around. He reached into his pocket, pulled out his cigarette and his lighter, and he said, oh, and here, light me a cigarette when I want to smoke. That was my first job, is to sit, watch, and light the man a cigarette. I love that job. but
That
but
is so humbling, yeah?
uh, when I saw the tattooing happening in front of my face, I said to myself, "Oh my God, if my friends can see me now, you know." How I learn is like hands-on tip. I see the real thing happening in front of my face. A task, my master going ta ta ta, two boys pulling and uh-huh. And the boys are singing. Sometimes two members of the village will come with their real guitars and sing songs in there, and and then everybody will sing. And sometimes when they're tired of singing, they play their tape recorder. Remember those tape recorder
The
back
tape
then? Yeah,
recorders,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. They play Samoan song tape recorders, and you know. So, anyways, that's how I started. So the third day, the in the morning, Rafael said to me, "Well, you're not going to sit over there and do nothing now. Sit up." And then he chased the other puller out and said, "You come sit over here and pull." So the third day was my first time hands-on pulling. You know, so that's how I started to become a tattoo artist. But I did went and took my and take I take my art pad with me, my little art book. You know, every time after we tattoo, the whole day we tattoo from morning all the way until 6 o'clock in the evening or 6:30, the whole day. So by I remember how fast he can tattoo. We can do 4 sessions a day. We'll wake up
Oh,
early in the morning. We'll start that first after that first session, and then we'll break and have breakfast. After breakfast, we'll tattoo the other one, and then the other one, and then we'll stop and have lunch. And then after lunch, we'll tattoo the last one, and then that's it. And I figured out we you know he had we tattoo 4 session every day. You know, it's like wow, that is so cool. Anyways, that was my first experience tattooing. But after a week, the whole tattooing stopped for the men. And Rafael says, "Yeah, no more tattoo for the men this week. This is the time for the girls." Well, I was shocked too to see the girls. The week for the girls almost take 2 weeks. It's the weeks and 4 or 5 days that we tattoo the girls. I think we tattoo like 17 girls, with malu, you know. Yeah, like everyday girls until the whole week is done. The girls are still not done. Okay. But you know what's funny? There's a big difference between tattooing the girls and the
Mm.
boys. The men, only like 4 or 5 chiefs inside the house when we tattoo men, and few people come in. But when we were tattooing the girls, my God, it was so live. There you're looking at most of the girls are inside the house singing, clapping, and the old ladies
Mm.
dancing in there, giving it encouragement to the ladies. When they're getting there, some of them crying and they're still dancing, and I'm like, wow, it was a it was a shock for me in the cultural, in my culture, because I come from American Samoa where there's no tattooing like that happening. And then I come to the hearts of Samoa in Samoa. It's like, wow, this is what really Samoa looks like when they do the tattooing. So yeah,
That is amazing.
we
You
tattoo. Yes, oh, amazing, amazing, Dr. Kalisi.
know?
So after
Mm.
after a month, we finish over there, and then we come back in the bus, going home,
Mm.
full of fine mats. We bring home lots of food, one big hug, and lots of fine mats, lots of gift, like lava, soap, you name it, any gift that they can bring, they gave it to us. So
That
we're
is
coming home.
amazing.
So after that, I come home. So I did that for 7 years and almost 8 months. I think 7 years and 6 months to become a real master. So when I come back home to Pango, I didn't come with any tools or anything. He just blessed me. He blessed me and his son. And I come home and start calling to my friends, okay, guys, I am here. I am ready. I need some task. So you should see the task slowly coming into my house. And all I was doing is making tools. Because the whole time I was trying to become a tattooist, we were using board tasks to tattoo. So every time, every day that we're ready to go tattoo, we prepare new tools. Prepare because, mind you, that the board task is very fragile. It
Yes.
breaks sometimes. So a
Yes.
lot of thing breaks, but it doesn't stop the tattoo because we got so many. That's why it's important to keep so many spare tools. We got spare tools of this and this and this, the shaders, the long line, the curved lines, the little small details. We got many tools. So those tools were made by us. So by the time I was done, I become a master, even making tools. Oh my God, I can make tools that after I'm done, people will look at me like, how did you do that, Wilson? I say, well, I don't know, but yeah, it
What a
happened.
blessing. Because, when I'm thinking of, the role of the Tufunga Tatatau, we often just see the
Mm.
work that is applied on the body. We don't see the tool making. So
Yes,
I'm glad you're talking about the tool making. So was there
yes.
someone that taught you how to make the tools?
Him, him.
So the
That's,
Suluape?
yeah, Rafael Suluapi.
Wow.
Because that's what we should prepare. When that call come from different village, that's when everything, whatever we're doing, say, okay, from this week we're gonna work on the tools. So every day we cut poor task, we make, we prepare all these tools so that we don't stop when we tattoo, because we cannot stop and say, oh, We have to stop tattooing because we got no tools. No, not allowed. When a tattoo break, we just pull out another tool and keep on going. That breaks, keep bring another tattoo. And if they all break at night, me and his son will never sleep. We'll start making tools right there at nighttime for tomorrow, because we take our tools with us to make tools. And plus, while we were in the village, the tattoo master, would ask the village chiefs to please, are there any hunters in the village? And then the chief said, yes. Why, Sua? And he said, I asked the hunters if they have some boar tusk. We want boar tusk for the tools for the boys, to tattoo the boys. There, yeah. And that's what we get the tusk from. And then he'll ask again, what about the fishermen? Are there any particular fishermen in the village that fish for turtle? And then the chiefs of the village say, okay, yeah. Why? You need some turtle shells? He said, yes. Sent for some turtle shells from the fishermen of the village. So as you can see, the tools over there that you're looking at, the turtle shells is attached to the stick, and that stick is called a hau. And then there's the little white stuff you see is the boar tusk, that is, lashed to the turtle shell. Uh-huh. Yes. So that is the tool. So, but mainly those are the four tools. The little smallest one is called the hau mongo, MOGO. Hau
Um,
mongo, hau mongo.
um,
Hau in Samoan is like precious.
I
Hau
see.
is like precious. Hau mongo, precious mongo. So the hau mongo's job is to do all the little detail design. The beautiful tattoo is made out. The design is made out of this little one, but to carve the lines is made out of the second one. It's called the au songi aso. Au songi aso. Aso means aso is a word that comes from inside our house. All the building of the house, all the asos and in the wood in the aso is the one that the fetch are attached to. When it's time to put the fetching on the house so it doesn't rain on it. Yeah, those are the aso that the fetch is tied onto. They're called aso. So that's why that tool is named Hausongi Aso, because it can even tattoo curve aso, the curve lines, the what that's what that little tool does. The second one. And then the third one is called the Aulaulua. The Aulaulua is like double the tusk. Aulaulua is to do straight lines. These straight lines, and it does curve line, but not that curve. But Laulua is the one that, and it helps do little bit of shading, and it's called the Laulua. Then it comes to the last one. It's called the Kapulu. Kapulu is shading. Is for big shading. If you see it, the Samoan tattoo, there's some big pieces that is so dark and black down the lakes. The lakes is called Kapulu. Well, that is the tusk that does the shading. The Au Kapulu. You know, so those four tusks, and you're looking at those four tusks with lots of spare that we do. You're looking at first the Aumongo, maybe we'll have 12 to 13 Aumongo. We'll have like 14 to 13 Ausong Yaso. The Auloluo probably like that too. The Aukapulu, that much of many we take when we go tattooing. But including all the other stuff to do spare again if all these tools are broken. Because like what I said, we tattoo 20 something people, 14 people. So, it's a non-stop thing. But those are the tools. I'm glad you got that. Yeah. And you see the ink over there and the aukui, because we call the little thing aukui, and the coconut shell. Yeah, aukui. That's the aukui. And the coconut shell is called the ipulama. Aukui and the ipulama. Yeah, ipulama is where the ink in.
Yeah.
But the stick, yeah, I forgot to tell you, the stick that is laying right next to the tools, we
Yeah.
call it sao sao, sao sao,
So
S A U
so.
S-A-U, Sao Sao. That's the one that hits on the top of the stick of the au, and then the au goes and hit the skin, and that's how the ink goes into the body. Yeah, Sao Sao. Anyways, yeah, and those two little white stuff, they're leftover board tusk that I place over there to just to try to tell the people that that's how it looks after cutting the tusk. The port. That's what's left of it. After cutting and making it into tools. Yeah. Anyways, so I came back to American Samoa and start making my own. Yeah, looking like that.
That
But
is
it's so
amazing.
yeah. But it's what's amazing about it. The ancient style of ink is that tree called lama. Lama, or the Hawaiian call it kukuina. We call it in
Oh, the kukui.
Yeah, we call it in Samoa lama. But
Oh,
how we do it, we'll gather the seed of that tree when it's matured, many, and
we
then we'll make a
Sikethi. We call it Sikethi in one part of Fiji, but on
uh-huh,
the eastern side, which is close to Tonga, they call
uh-huh,
it Tuitui.
tutui, kuikui nuts. All
Yes,
right,
Kukui and
yeah,
Tutui, very similar, eh?
yes, very similar, you know. But you know what is funny? I just want to say this. There's a group of Fiji Island that the women tattoo over there.
Ah,
And I just found that out. I would love to go as a part of my research in the future. I will fly to Fiji and find that out, because in our legend and our story about how the tattoo get to Samoa, it's like this. Listen, two women swim, Samoan girls, they're twin. Tila Taima and Tila Fainga.
ah,
They swim from Fiji. See? They swim from Fiji with the aquau to these girls. They came to Savai, the big island. They wanted to go over there to rest, and they were hungry. They said they swim, but they say they swim, but they sail, But it's just the way they tell stories. The
right.
two girls swam from Fiji, but no, they were voyaging. And then they come to Falealupo, and the village didn't want to accept them. They said, "Oh, no, 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 no." But they were singing the song that the girls get tattooed, the men don't get tattooed. They were so hungry, they come to Falealupo. They saw this clam, this Faisua clam. So they decided to dive down and bring the clam up to eat. So when they come up, with the clam, the whole song changed. They say, "Oh, the men get tattooed, the girls don't get tattooed." But before, the girls get tattooed. But we believe when the girls swam with the tools, the aqua, the tools from Fiji, they already got tattoo, like us men. But because of when they dive down to get the faisua over there in Falealupo, that's when the song changed. They say the men get tattooed, the women, you know, don't get tattooed. So, but that's a story. And then not too long ago, I think like 2 years ago, a friend of mine came from Fiji and said, "You know what? There's an island in Fiji that we know. The women only tattoo over there." I said, "What? Hell no." And he said, "No. There's an island in Fiji that I know, that I hear stories that." And I said, "You know what? I got to go over there. I got to go see if it's true, because if it's true, that's where the girl came from. From there. They swam to Fiji and learned, and then they swam back to Samoa. And that's how we get the tools, the aqua out. So, anyways, go back to us South Pacific. That's our story. But going back to the tattooing is a sacred count of a Samoan. You know, when the girls, these two girls first accepted in the Alipata side, they end up teaching the first family that accepted them to learn how to tattoo, and that is the first sua, because the girls, after they teach these guys how to tattoo, they gave them a title, a high chief name called Sua. Sua. So that's why all of us tattooists from Samoa, we always say Sua Wilisone. When you get that name Sua, that means you're a professional tattooist. You're a high chief. You're the tattooist. So that's why when you see Petelo Suluape, it's not like Petelo Suluape. No, it's always Sua Petelo Suluape. You know, they're the ones. That's when you're Tufunga, but not with the tattoo gun. Neither, not. But that's how the word Sua come from. Is from those two girls. So that's how the tattoo is ended up in the Samoa. But keep on going with what I'm saying is that started a count for Samoa and became one of the secret count in the Samoan culture that every man when they wear that with their a girl and men. the
This is the pea, eh? Or
pea
malu?
is,
The malu.
yeah,
This is the pea.
the, the pea is the man.
The
You
man.
see, the tattoo with the man is called pea. The
Ah,
tattoo on the girl is called malu.
malu.
But you see the big difference.
Yes.
The thing is, the girls are decorated with stars of heaven and stars of the ocean. That's the pattern that they give the girls. Us men, oh God, we take the beating. A
Mm.
lot of those Kapulu shaders, they hurt. Yeah.
That the
You see
one.
that?
Wow, look at this.
Yeah. You see that big
Ah,
black one? That's the work of the Au Kapulu.
oh,
Remember
the
the Kapulu?
Aukapulu.
Yeah,
Oh.
the shaders, they blacken out all that stuff. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mhm. But they always
Mm.
say that's the deep ocean,
That is
Kapulu.
amazing. So what
Yeah.
you were saying to Sua with the big number of men you mentioned before, there was
And,
17 no 23 of them.
and
So they would tattoo at least four of them in a day.
in a day, yeah, yeah, probably 2 hours and a half a day session. Uh, 2 hours and a half every, or some of them 3 hours every session. But it's fast when you see the tufunga move and us the pullers wipe and
So you have
oh
to work together, yeah, as a
yeah,
like you're working as a team, yeah.
that's right, that's right.
Um,
You have to work as a team because if the tattoo master is fast and us the pullers slow, he hit our
yeah.
head with the sao very fast.
That's right. I can imagine, yeah.
uh,
So so when you were in Savai, you were learning from Suluwape, and you
uh,
mentioned that you went back to America Samoa after 8 years or
uh,
7 years, 7 years and 8 months.
yeah,
Yeah, that
yes,
you went back. Were you going back and forth, or were you just staying in Savai?
not going back and forth, you
But you
know.
were learning for those 7 years.
Yeah, but I'm learning 7 years from yeah,
Wow.
from Rafael Suluape. But every time I go back to American Samoa, there's few people knows. Only my family knows, and some of my friends. But most of the rest of the people, they don't know that I'm learning to become tattooist. To become a master. Until when I was done, they've seen it and they go, "Oh my God!" So that's what this guy is doing. Then they just found out because I never tell them what I was doing. You know, I
No,
learned.
for you not telling them what you are doing,
Yeah,
that is very special, just hearing your story.
uh,
You wanna hold it in until you are ready. Was that something you
yeah,
were thinking about?
yeah. It was something that you learned. I learned like what I said. There's something that you learn so much in doing this sacred count of Samoa. You learn to become respect. You learn to become humble, and you learn to the ways that you becoming a master. You cannot be like mimika. What's the word for mimika? Proud. You can't say, hey, yeah, look at my work, that is me.
Right.
That is not allowed in the Samoan
Wow.
culture. But when you're a master, you should be humble. And or you say, somebody say, oh, well, how beautiful. The answer is, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for yeah. So I learned like that from my master. Not allowed to be proud and not allowed to. You got to stay humble, respect, and listen to what the because they believe the blessing comes from the old people, our old ancestors. So when the old ancestors come and say things to us masters, because I was a master when I was young, and
Oh,
for an old person to give me all these blessings and say, God bless you with your talents, and
yeah.
you know that is what you want right there. You said thank you.
Mm,
Yeah, thank you for the blessing. So that's why all of us is like this. We're never proud of our work, or we
mm,
just say thank you, thank God for the
absolutely.
blessing.
Yes.
Yeah, but
So,
really,
so, so, what did your dad say? It's just so beautiful to hear that
oh
he went
yeah,
with you. He flew with you from
uh,
TUITUILA over to Polu.
yes.
What was his response when he finally see that you are now ready after 7 years and 8 months?
Well, that's what really hurts me because I was like almost become a master when he passed away. That's why it
Oh,
really hurts. He got a heart attack and then he passed away. And sometimes I say to myself, I wish my dad was here to see me. But I'm glad that, and I know in my heart that he's there. That his spirit is with me when I do my work.
he's proud of you,
Giving me a lot
definitely.
of courage. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That is amazing. And I think, you being here with us, today, we have one of my students who's here. They will be, learning so much from this video, to hear from your story. We are just
yes,
so blessed to hear the journey. I have to tell you, Sua,
yeah.
uh, maybe Reggie might be surprised about this, but I have been to Manono and Apolima.
Oh, wow, wow,
I went there
wow.
on the year 2000. I went there for a meeting for UNESCO, and
Ooh,
I was
yes,
invited. I was in, I
yeah,
think just before I went to New Zealand, the
okay.
invitation came, and I couldn't believe it. When I always tell my Samoan friends, I always tell them, "Oh, I've been to Manon and Apolima." They're like, "What?" They
That's
only know
very
you go
good.
to Upolu
Yeah,
or Savai'i,
very
right?
good. Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's very good. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, and
Manono,
I told them I
Manono is
went on the
where,
boat.
yes, Manono is where I got my tattoo, and that's where my master live, and that's where I go all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a
Oh,
blessing.
that's so good.
When you were saying about the two islands, I had such beautiful memories. So thank you
Right.
so much for mentioning that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you
Man,
very
what a
much.
blessing for us today.
Yeah.
David, you still there, David?
Yes, I am. Yeah,
Do you have
yeah.
any questions or anything you'd like to ask Su'a?
Um, no questions, but I really like your story. It's really cool and all of that. That it kind of like brought some inspiration to me.
Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, David.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, so David
You're
is one of
welcome.
my student. I
Uh,
invited him, to encourage him to come
uh,
along, to come and listen to your story today. And
okay.
yeah, it's just so beautiful. I think a few lessons I learned from you today, is the importance of knowing your family,
Yeah.
your genealogy, particularly when they asked you about your family name. Is it for Va'a?
My middle name. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Well, my middle name. Yeah.
Wow, it's just amazing when they say, "Are you, Fuava'a?" And
Yes. Yes.
the connection just came together. It is
Uh-huh.
just, whew, that
Yeah.
was so, so beautiful. The second
Uh,
one is your genealogy. Just by hearing
uh,
you talk about, their mother and their sisters, and
yeah.
how
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
connection just come in. So,
Uh-huh.
for me, the lesson is for us to know who we are, you know.
Yes.
So
Uh,
maybe for our listeners who are, especially our young people like David who's here, what would you encourage them about knowing your family and knowing where you come from?
yeah. I encourage them to, because to us Samoans, the genealogy is what we look for, and we're involved and we kept it in our heart, and because we want to know moms, it's like fourth generation going back. It's important for our kids, and even the dad side, it's important for our kids because we don't want our third cousin kids to end up marrying each other, and then they found out later, oh my God, I married my own cousin, or the kids, that's the whole idea of knowing who you are. And it's always a Polynesian thing to know, because that's royal, to know everybody even though your auntie is in America and that they still know auntie's kids, kids, and aunties, so we have, it's very important for us. And that tells a story about strong ties in a family. you know the family is there. Yeah.
That is beautiful. And the other one too I really appreciate was when you were showing us the names of the tools. So thank you so
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Au mongo, au soniaso, au
Yes.
laulua, au
Yes.
kapulu.
Haulaulua and Aukapulu. Perfect. Yes.
Wow.
Well, I haven't talked about the pattern yet, but maybe some other day. But every mamanu, every motif that we tattoo on our body, it tells us stories about us. And our artwork comes from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the ocean. That's how deep the artwork itself. Yeah. So, and they all have meanings. Yeah. So,
That is amazing. And I'm so glad that, as you said, each of the pattern has a story.
yes,
Wow.
yes. And even the respect of each another pattern to another pattern,
Right.
you know, is even tells you that the way that we tattoo it too on the body
Yeah.
tells something, like, because we will never tattoo pattern together to each other. We
Ah,
always run, we always run a line to protect the other one to another one, as you can see over there. And it's got 12 session. If you want to
mm,
do your tattoo, as you can see in the back is a boat. That's how we come to our island. That thing that is the big black thing with the head, like the
yeah.
two va'a heads on each side. Half represents the other side, half represents the other side. That's a big catamaran. Yeah. It tells how we come to our island. And then if you can see below it,
Mm,
it's that little black thing, a little teeny black thing,
yeah.
like a triangle.
Yeah.
That's the compass. That's the compass.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
that
that's
one.
that's no. Go to the back where the boat is at. On the right side.
Oh,
See
on
the
the right
boat is the
side.
big, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. The boat is the big one, and yeah, there. That's the boat.
Oh, that's a boat, and that's a triangle there.
The little one. Yeah, there. The black one. Yeah, that's like a, those Viking compass that you put on the water, and it floats and then it moves,
Mm.
and that's that compass. But if you
Oh,
see underneath the black thing, it's a bottom of a hall, because one half represent the hall on the other side, one half represents the other hall, and that you see the complete hall of a boat over there. You see, that's the compass right there. They always say Samoans are the navigator people. We were the furthest one when the Westerners come to our in Polynesian islands, to
yeah.
our waters. We were the furthest one that can travel, but we were using our body to carry our compass. I mean, our that's our compass right there. You know, so it's a one of my biggest study now I'm doing in my work of Tufunga is trying to put that together. How do they know the wind, and where are those? How do they know when they sail to Tonga, they go straight to Tonga? How they know when we go to Fiji, we go straight to Fiji? Because
Yeah.
these are the three islands that always fight: the Fijian, the Tongan, and the Samoans. In our legend, in our story, they always fight. They never go fight the Fijian and they end up in Tonga and go, oh my God, we come to the wrong land. Why? Look, it's Tonga. It's not Fiji. No, they never. They go to Fiji. They go straight to Fiji. Anyways, yeah.
That is amazing. And I have to acknowledge you sharing the Talanoa of Taema and Tilafainga.
Samoa and
because
Sila. Yes,
because
two girls.
when we were in Fiji, we were on the island of Kia, and right now we have a lady listening in. She's listening from the island of Kia.
Wow.
Bula bula binak Victoria Lautiki. When we were on that island, Sua, they
Uh-huh.
were telling us about the story of these two sisters,
Oh, wow.
and they
Wow.
were saying that their story actually come from that island, and from Kia, they have a special bond all the way to Samoa.
Oh my God. I would love. That's why I want to go. That's where I want to go to do my
Yes,
research and study if
yes.
that's what really happened. Yeah.
So I
Wow.
will be
That's
happy
so good.
to connect you and Reggie
Yes.
to the people of the island of Kia in Maduata. It's a small island in the north of Fiji. And
Lovely.
we were very fortunate to visit that island. We went by boat from Viti Levu. We went by boat to Vanolevu, and then we caught the bus all the way to Lambasa. We stayed in Lambasa for a number of days, and then we caught the boat from Lambasa to the island of Kia. And the lady that is listening right now online, Victoria, the brother was the one who was looking after us, and Victoria as well was a beautiful host looking after us when we were there. So I will
Wow.
most definitely make the connection for you, Sua.
Thank you so much. We would love that. We would love that. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Wow. Yeah, we are just so grateful, today, Sua, with, your knowledge and just your words of encouragement and your beautiful story, just the feedback that has been coming through, how so many of our listeners just enjoyed, you sharing your story. And I think Reggie maybe have heard the story you're sharing, but for most of us, it's just so what a blessing that you could openly share the communication you had with your dad, and
Uh, Thank you. Thank you.
and for you to keep your dream alive from when you were young, leaving all your friends in Tutuila and flying over to Polo and said, "I'll see you later."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got a mission to do.
Yes, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission.
Yeah, I'm on a mission. I'll see you.
The other question I have for you too, Sua,
Yes. Uh,
what about when you met some of your classmates? Many of them may be school teachers, and some
yeah.
of them
Yeah.
ended up being a lawyer, and maybe some
Uh,
became a doctor. But what do they say to you now that you are now being a Tufunga Tatatau?
well, it's amazing. Some of my friends, when 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 I'm tattooing, and they don't know who's tattoo because now they hear, oh, there's tattooing going in our village. Oh yeah, where? Well, which house? Oh yeah, and the Tufunga's name is who? We don't know the guy, but he's. And then some of my classmates from that village will come look and they see me and they go, oh, because I remember some of the high chiefs trying to stop them, say, hey, you can't walk in there with the short, because in the house where tattooing is happening, no one allowed to come inside unless they wear a eel of lava. And there's always a high chief over there of the village sitting in the fale. That's his job. No one allowed to come in the fale if it's not ready. So some of my classmates, they just come with their shorts. They want to come in because they know they want to come and say hi. And the old man stop and say, no, 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 go get yourself a eel of lava. Then you're allowed to come in. And and then when I'm done that day, they come and hug me and go, oh, in someone us Polynesian, they'll slap
Yes,
me, punch me. I didn't know it was you. Oh my God, look at you. So this is you're the Tufunga. Oh my God, I cannot, Yeah, they were shocked. They were shocked to know that, because I never tell them that I'm never, only my family knows, but
yes,
yeah, you're
I
right.
think
You're
that's
right.
humility, yeah, humility from
Yeah,
your side. And,
yeah,
when you're talking about your dad, and you're saying, this is what I wanted to do, I just love the fact that he believed in your dreams, right? And he
yeah,
said,
yeah.
let's
Thank him.
go.
Yeah, I thank him for that. Yeah, uh, very special for me. So yeah, you're right.
That is beautiful because, because we all know, that sometimes our parents may have dreams for us,
Yeah.
They might say,
Uh,
you should keep the tradition for our family and you should become a teacher. Look, your grandfather was a doctor, you should be a doctor. But
mhm.
in your case, you wanted to do this and your dad supported you. What would you like to tell dads who are listening today in terms of how their children wanted to choose what pathway to take?
I just wanted to say that they they have to be there for them when they start talking about what they want to do in life, because they were they were picked to do, some of them, when they first started, they were just wondering, thinking, oh, I want to do this, and then when they go do it, no, no, I want to do this. But sometimes in life, a kid will really think, you know what, I think this is me, and it's very important for the parents to keep looking what gift that his son is natural. Just looking at his son, when his son, yeah, hand hold a bush knife in his hand, and he carve a wood and turn that wood into a little small canoe or a little small thing. They should look at it going, oh my God, look, he carved this piece of wood and he end up a beautiful canoe that, oh my God, stuff like that. Or
Mm,
things. They have to listen. They have to listen and try to work together with the son, what the son really wants. Because you're
mm,
right, there are some son that, dad, I want to be this, and the dad said, no,
mm,
I want you to go to school, I want to be a lawyer. And what if the son is not a lawyer? What if he's a carpenter? Because here's what's happened when I became a tattooist. When I went to learn to become a tattooist, some of my family members says, man, we don't have a tattooist in our family. All we have in our family is a Tufunga Faufali. Tufunga, my great grandpa was a real traditional fale maker, building fale. It's an art form, it's amazing. But they look at me and say, but he's a tattooist, totally different. And I said, well, Tufunga is a Tufunga. He's a Tufunga Faufale. Now I'm a Tufunga Tatatau. So you never know. But yeah, it's in the family. Yeah. The
that
art
is
of being a
beautiful.
Tufunga. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know Reggie's sitting there. Reggie, with your support, working together as a team, how do you feel having you both working for the Fa Samoa arts that you have in Pangu Pangu? It's just so beautiful to see you both working together. When we were choosing to have our participants in Palm Springs. It was amazing when Susan, when he saw both of your names, she saw both of your names. She said, I want both of them to come together," and it meant a lot. That both of you were there. How do you feel working next to Sua, Reggie?
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Tarisi. It's really humbling. It is. It's very rich, and every day I learn something new. And we have we have so many different dimensions of when we teach and share knowledge with our young people and others, and we work together. It's so funny too, because often we were just in San Francisco over the weekend at the De Young Museum doing the De Youngsters Day. And so Su'o was managing one side and I was managing the other side. But then if I would show up on his side and he's talking, he would look at me and he would look at me for a word, and then I would add the word, and then he'd continue on. And so having that kind of teamwork where the blessings just flow with the communication of understanding each other and supporting and respecting and working together, I think that's really been truly a godsend for us as artists and cultural, with our cultural interest in Siapo, and with Su'a being a Tufunga
Mm.
Tatatau and Siapo maker too. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I want to add it is the language too inside the art. There's a language in the arts of Siapo, in our Samoan language, and there's a language in Tatao. So in order for us to try to hold these two language, because now we come across some of our generation in America that don't know how to speak the language, and they wear the pea, and so sad that they don't know some of the full-on words of Samoan words, the language, how deep the language is. They only know the little one, talofa, malolava, yeah, tofa, yeah. But in the pattern itself, the siapo, the mamanu siapo, and the pea, it's got some of the deepest traditional language that we need to hold on, so it doesn't disappear. Like the tools nowadays, we use our tools now. We use stainless steel to tattoo. They stop us from saying, you guys are not allowed to come to the States with your traditional Samoan boa task to tattoo, because but they turn around and make stainless steel, and now we buy our tools from them. And their excuse is because of the disease. Different disease happen, so we respect that too. And the only thing that we're worried about, us tattooers, me, is like, in the future, maybe 5, 6, 10 years from now, my young generation's gonna write something like this, and our ancestors tattoo us with stainless steel. And that is so sad, because and who knows if it's there gonna be any one of us that knows how to make this traditional tool, the boa task. No one will know. So that is what I'm looking at as a tattooist, worried and fear for the benefit of my future generation and my culture when it comes to this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And it's so beautiful to hear you sharing that from the heart. And,
Yes.
when I was hearing what you were saying when you were in Savai,
Yeah.
and then when they were saying, oh, are there some fishermen? Do they catch the turtle? Make
Yeah.
sure you get some shells so we can make
Yeah.
and
Tools.
again,
Yeah.
do you have some pig hunters?
Yes.
Just seeing the whole community coming together is so beautiful.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Ah,
Yeah, that's right, Dr. Kalisi. That's my only fear in my art form. It will come a time that my young generation, we're lost, when they write papers for their school and stuff. And then the
mm.
papers will come out like that. Our ancestors tattoo us with stainless steel. It's like, oh my God.
That's actually a reminder, yeah, for all of
Yeah.
us who are listening,
Yeah.
that if we try our best to maintain and keep the knowledge and the memories of the using of the task, as well
Yes.
as the turtles,
Yeah.
that is just so beautiful that you are
Yeah.
calling for action, that we
Yes.
don't lose everything just
Yeah.
for the sake of what other people are saying,
Yeah.
to start using stainless steel. Mm.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sua, for for encouraging us. It's just so beautiful that we just sit here and I could sit here for hours, Sua. And the Fijian chief here is gonna mix my Fijian cover, and I can
Oh,
just listen
oh,
to you.
please. Yeah.
But he's signaling to me when we will come to Hawaii, we'll definitely come and see you, Sua.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. God.
Yes, yeah, what a blessing, what a blessing. So to conclude our Talanoa today, maybe
Yeah.
we'll start with you, Reggie, and then we'll get Sua to close our session. Maybe Sua, for you, Reggie, and then Sua, any last advice that you would like to share with our listeners today, particularly our young ones, in learning the arts of where you come from?
Thank you so
Mm.
much, Dr. Tarisi, and for all those listening. Uh, like for me, it was searching and tapping into my aunties and like Auntie Mary Pritchard, who took us under her wing and just listening and absorbing like a sponge and just asking those questions and really dedicating time, investing the time to learn and to learn properly the knowledge of those ancestral arts. And for me, it was yapo making. Those things, just devote the time, because it's nothing that you can buy at a store. You have to go, you have to know your plants and your trees, and it's a dedication of time.
Mm.
Yes, thank you.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much, Reggie. And now over to you, Sua. We'll get you to close our session with any last advice for our young people listening in.
Yes, I just want to say that don't forget who you are. Stop and look at you and say, who am I? Where do I come from? And never forget to respect where you from, like your ocean. Look at your ocean. You know, keep that ocean clean. Keep that ocean healthy. Go to your land. Go to the forest. Look at that forest deep and say, keep this forest clean and healthy because that's where the mana come from. All these arts that we learn is all from nature, from the reason why that we live long and last on where we come from because of the fa'aloalo or to the respect the mana from this land. So therefore, take care and stay healthy. Stay healthy, be humble, and be strong. And Fafsai thank you.
Papetai telelava. Vinaka vakalevu. Thank you so much, Sua, for your
Yes,
amazing words of wisdom.
thank you.
We came into this Talanoa session with our basket of knowledge just filled maybe one quarter at the bottom. But after talking to you for the last hour, I'm sure our basket of knowledge has filled up right to the rim. And on behalf of all our listeners, on behalf of everyone tuning in, we just want to acknowledge you and to say our words of appreciation, to thank you for taking us back in time, taking us back to that moment when you said goodbye to your friends in school and you went with your dad, flew from TUITUILA over to Upolu, and you went to all those beautiful islands, to Manono and to Apolima, and even all the way to Savai in the search of making and doing something that you really want from your heart. Thank you so much, Sue. Thank you for blessing us, and we look forward to seeing you in Hawaii when we come over at the end of the month.
Thank you. Fafsai
All right. Fafitai, take care for now.
Okay.
Bye.
Say for
Pasay po, pa. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, David. Thank you
You-
for joining us. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a nice day. I'll see you later.
Okay, thank you. Nice talking to you today.
Bye.
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 Wow. Thank you so much to our wonderful listeners. Aren't we all blessed to have the wonderful Sua Uilisone Fitiao, who is joining us from the beautiful island of Oahu in Hawaii. He just arrived there yesterday, and they're based in American Samoa on the beautiful city of Pango Pango on the island of TUITUILA. And Reggie Meredith, Sua's wife, was my guest 2 weeks ago. She is a kapa maker, siapo maker, so she makes this beautiful kapa. And Sua, he carves the wooden tablets for the siapo to have the designs from it. So they work together as a team. But not only that, he also is a master tattooist. As they call it in Samoan, he is a Tufunga Tatatau. Aren't we blessed that he could give us this hour to share his story with us? So we hope that we can invite him again in fall semester. So keep an eye out on my platform that when we have another session of webinars from the month of September to December, definitely Sua will be back again to tell us the stories of the designs on the malu, that's the tattoo for the Samoan women, and the pe'a, which is the tattoo for the Samoan man. Okay, so thank you so much for everybody listening in from Australia, New Zealand, from the United Kingdom, Vinakavakan for joining in. For those of you connecting in from American Samoa, Talofalava, and Fafetai, also from the Kingdom of Tonga, Malo au Peter for joining in, and also those of you in Fiji. I'm speaking on behalf of my university here in Los Angeles, on behalf of the students and the staff here at California State University in Los Angeles. Thank you so much for joining us for the last 10 weeks when I was hosting these webinars, online Talanoa sessions with guests from around the Pacific, particularly for the Northern Oceania, starting in on the island of Saipan, and all the way from Saipan to Palau, to Guam, to Chuuk, to Pohnpei, to the Republic of the Marshall Islands, and then all the way to America Samoa, as well as the Kingdom of Tonga and New Zealand. So Tony Batiwale and Mbulose Misi and everybody watching in today from the University of the South Pacific University campus in Laucala in Suva. I just wanted to say thank you for everybody listening in. Vinakavakale for taking the time out. Vinakavale below. Thank you everyone for joining me and Sua in hearing the stories, beautiful stories about his journey to become one of the well-known American Samoan tattooist, Tufunga Tatatau. I'm sending my love to you all. You all take care. Goodbye for now.